right now at 7.
Breaking news, a deadly hit-and-run crash involving 2 pedestrians and a stolen car still has streets closed right now. We're there with the latest.
Plus, for the first time in Santa Clara County, first responders roll up their sleeves for COVID-19 vaccines. New information about who's next.
We clearly are not out of the woods. We are in the thick of the woods.
And if those warnings are not adhered to, then we will be giving out citations.
Cracking down on partiers and businesses breaking the rules. The Bay Area city taking no chances this New Year's Eve.
And we're just hours away from the end of 2020, and the Bay Area cannot wait to say goodbye.
What I'd really like to say goodbye to is the feeling that everybody in this country is either right or wrong.
Good evening, I'm Ken Bastida.
And I'm Andrea Nakano. Elizabeth has the night off. Breaking news right now on the KPIX 5 News at 7 and streaming on CBS and Bay Area. A hit-and-run suspect is in custody after killing 2 pedestrians in San Francisco. KPIX 5's Joe Vasquez is at the scene with new information.
The investigation is underway here behind me. Right now you can see police officers surrounding this car that's severely damaged. Police are now saying that was a robbery suspect who was behind the wheel. This happened around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Police say the car struck 2 pedestrians. One died at the scene. The other died shortly afterward at the hospital. Police say the driver tried to leave the scene but was quickly arrested. This is video caught on the Citizen app, a social media platform. In a statement from the police department, the public information officer says the suspected hit-and-run driver was actually driving a stolen car at the time and that he was on parole for robbery. More details as we get them. In San Francisco, Joe Vasquez, KPIX 5.
Our other top story tonight, with just hours to go before the new year, health officials are pleading with people not to go out and celebrate with others.
KPIX 5's Kenny Choi is in Palo Alto tonight with new information on vaccine distribution.
As we get ready to ring in the new year, the rush to get hospital workers vaccinated first is nearing the finish line, according to county health officials. But there's still a long road ahead for other healthcare workers and those who fall in line after that. Hundreds of first responders from fire and police getting doses of the COVID-19 vaccine at the Santa Clara County Fairgrounds.
We have had outbreaks in several of the agencies within Santa Clara County, and providing this first line of protection for our folks is really critical for them to continue to do their jobs.
95,000 doses of the Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccine have been delivered to Santa Clara County.
We are moving quickly towards getting everyone in the hospital sector vaccinated. And we will then move on to additional tiers within that first phase.
Workers in community clinics, doctors' offices, dentists, and other medical providers come next. Officials say there are 140,000 healthcare workers in the county.
Our priority, getting every single dose into somebody's arm. We do not want to sit on any vaccine like we've heard in other communities. We want to be a community that gets the vaccine and gets it out as soon as we can. And that's what we're working on.
Once phase 1A is complete, then it's 1B, 75 and older, and essential frontline workers like teachers, law enforcement, and grocery store workers. Santa Clara County health officials say this will take several months.
It won't be under control until we have a high level of herd immunity, meaning up to 80% or more of our community is vaccinated before we feel safe enough to begin thinking about removing our masks.
The next phase is 1C, which includes people 64 to 74 years old and those with chronic conditions. Phase 2 is the general public. It's been 2 weeks since hospital workers started first getting vaccinated with those Pfizer doses in Santa Clara County. They'll start getting the second dose mid next week. In Palo Alto, Kenny Choi, KPIX 5.
Looking live at San Francisco City Hall, the stay-at-home order and travel quarantine in the city will now stay in place indefinitely. People entering the city from outside the Bay Area are required to quarantine for 10 days. Under the stay-at-home order, personal services, outdoor dining, and any drive-in gatherings are off limits. The previous orders were set to expire on Monday.
Also tonight, San Francisco police are sending out a warning. They say you could get fined if you're caught in a large group tonight around the city. Police also want the public to call 311 if they see any businesses violating the health order.
We will go ahead and, if we need to, we will admonish or give people warnings. And if those warnings are not adhered to, then we will be giving out citation.
Well, we got to make fireworks at home. We can do that. Just stay home. Bring the new year probably at home. Think about other people. Think about yourself, your family.
San Francisco police have also closed off several popular gathering places tonight. Parking lots to Twin Peaks, Marina Green, Stern Grove have all been locked up tonight to try to stop people from having parties.
And taking a live look at Ocean Beach tonight, parking lots there are also closed. The beach is always a popular party spot on New Year's, and it would be a pretty nice night to do it.
I'm going to check in with Brian Hackney right now. Brian, you know, the weather cooperated, but with this COVID, you just can't chance it and go outside.
Kenny, it's going to be a very nice night, weather-wise, to plan how to dress for your living room tonight. It's going to be like in the mid-40s around midnight and starry skies. Moon will be out. The high-def Doppler is dry. As we've got, as I say, that system went through, dropped about 1/10 of an inch of rain, and that was it. And as we approach midnight tonight, the numbers will be mid-40s to upper 40s, and that's about it. Then things change. Tomorrow starts with sunny skies. We've got high pressure over the west coast, but look what's on the way. Another weak cold front for Northern California. That means more showers by late Friday, about 24 hours from now. North Bay, deja vu all over again. We'll get a few light showers moving first from north to south. So tonight, we're going to start out chilly with patchy fog, and then it's going to be a nice start to 2021. Mostly sunny. Increasing clouds late in the day, though, mean little rain coming through tomorrow night. More rain on the way for Sunday and Monday, and even more coming through on Wednesday. I have the details when we cover the weather in a few minutes, but first, here's Andrea.
All right, live looks across the Bay Area. Most people getting ready to say good riddance to 2020 in just a few hours. KPIX 5's Da Lin asked folks what they hope they'll be saying goodbye to in the new year.
We typically end the year with a lot of booms and bangs along the San Francisco waterfront. Thanks to COVID, nope, we can't have fireworks either. But that doesn't mean we can't have some fun. I'm setting up shop on the Embarcadero to ask folks what and how they want to say goodbye to 2020.
I really want to say goodbye to 2020 for having all the restriction where we can't travel, we can't see our loved ones. My very first place, I want to travel to Hawaii.
Just want to hopefully say goodbye to like Zoom calls or Zoom meetings.
I think we'd like to say goodbye to not being able to see family and friends. So we're looking forward to gathering in the new year.
I just want to say goodbye to being bored at home, being able to socialize, not everybody being so paranoid.
I would like to say goodbye to all the suffering of all the people who are not able to work because of the pandemic.
I really want to say goodbye to in 2020 is inertia. It's getting off my butt and finally doing a lot of things I've been telling myself I'm going to do for years. I think like 2021 is the year to go do it. I'm going to be super energized by not having been able to go out in 2020.
What I'd really like to say goodbye to is the feeling that everybody in this country is either right or wrong. And I'd like to be able to think about my friends as my friends instead of who they voted for.
I want to say goodbye to all the money troubles and the job issues that come along with that.
I would like to say goodbye to Zoom school and how hard it is.
Schools would be, I think, a little bit easier since you're like with teachers and stuff.
Hopefully we'll get rid of the coronavirus, finally, with the new vaccine. And hopefully this new year will bring in happiness.
Good riddance 2020. Last but not least, I want to say goodbye to the ban of in-person dining so I can eat at my favorite restaurants. Cheers to 2021, to good health, good food, and a much better year. I'm Da Lin, KPIX 5.
Ditto to everything, Da. Well, still ahead, the new roadblock for those $2,000 stimulus checks.
All that I am asking Senator McConnell is give us about what is the problem.
It's been really buttoned up. People take it seriously.
And celebrating New Year's in the snow, what people say is much different this season in Tahoe. Plus,
I'm Don Ford in San Francisco. It's official and it's real. The Cliff House sign has been removed. I'll have this story coming up.
Then later, San Jose State's bid to end the season undefeated takes a huge hit. What happened just moments before kickoff?
Anytime any of those pieces aren't there,
you know, that definitely has a big impact, and the guys that can't be there are just devastated.
Well, no fireworks this year, but in the Sierra, fresh snow has many people hitting the slopes for New Year's Eve, even though the area is under a stay-at-home order like the rest of us. Well, the weather was beautiful for skiers, however, snowboarders, even people just wanting to play in the snow. The area got some fresh powder last night, making for smooth rides. Despite COVID, people headed to ski resorts today, trying to keep their New Year's Eve traditions alive of spending the day on the slopes.
Start the day off, a lot of powder. It's great. There aren't too many people out, so you just kind of make your own tracks, do your own thing.
Trying to spend as much time out here because it's one of the only things open right now.
And we got more rain on the way here in the Bay Area, so I'm guessing that's going to translate to more snow in the Sierras.
It certainly should. The theory usually works. We didn't get much from this last little storm. We got about 1 to 5 inches. Not a lot. Probably the same for the time this next system rolls on through Friday night. At the moment, there's not much on the high-def Doppler, but over the city, it sure is a pretty sight. In San Francisco right now, 53 degrees. In Concord, it is 51. Be chilly tonight. Rainfall totals didn't amount to much. Santa Rosa picked up 0.15 of an inch. In San Jose, it was 0.05 of an inch. But after a clear and chilly New Year's Eve, we've got more rain on the way in 24 hours. In between the two, we've got high pressure that this will be riding over the top of, and that's going to keep us sunny for the most part by the time we get into tomorrow, first day of 2021, first day of the new decade. As we have a look at the futurecast, here's tomorrow morning at 10:30. Looks pretty clear. That's the fog out in the Central Valley over at screen right. As the day goes on, though, you can see a few high clouds coming overhead, and then by 9:20 tomorrow night, here comes another weak cold front that won't drop much. You'll see how much in a minute. But you'll notice one difference. That is that after that front passes through, most of Saturday remains cloudy and a few sprinkles around. So while we'll go sunny for Friday, after this next system, we keep it cloudy right through the weekend. Futurecast shows 1/10 of an inch again, 1/100 of an inch. But there's good news on the way. We've got more robust systems that will be working their way into the Bay Area. Boy, we need them too. Rainfall averages have been, well, 1/3 of normal at Santa Rosa, and in Livermore about 1/4 normal. So we're going to add to the rain just a little bit at a time. Not during the daytime tomorrow. After a chilly night tonight, we'll start dry in 2021, but not for long. A few showers come in Friday night through Saturday morning. Saturday looks cloudy, so does Sunday. Another system comes in Sunday night and Monday, and yet more rain and a more robust system coming through on Wednesday, and we like robust when it comes to rain. Temperatures overnight tonight will be down to 32 in Santa Rosa, at Napa 39 degrees, 37 out at Fairfield, and 39 degrees in San Jose. So bundle up as you watch New Year's Eve in the comfort of your living room. Forecast will be in the upper 50s and low 60s. Over in the East Bay, that pretty much holds true. In Fairfield, it'll be 62. Over in Antioch, 57 degrees. Walnut Creek at 60. Up in the North Bay, a nice start to 2021 with sunny skies and 59 degrees at Rohnert Park. And finally up around Lakeport and Clear Lake will be in the upper 50s tomorrow. In the extended forecast, we're going to be looking for sunshine for tomorrow. A few showers move in Friday night and Saturday. Weekend is pretty much lunched out for sunshine. There's not going to be much. Rain comes through Sunday night, Monday, Tuesday night, Wednesday. So this on again, off again thing, before you know it, we might creep back toward average in the rainfall department. So that's the good news. We'll update all this at 11 o'clock tonight. But in the meantime, it is time to get the news headlines. And for that, let's see, Ken or Andrea? I pick Andrea.
Yeah. All right, thanks, Brian. Here's a look at your top headlines tonight. Looking live at Capitol Hill, a vote to boost stimulus checks to $2,000 has been blocked for a third day in a row.
Socialism for rich people is a terrible way to help the American families that are actually struggling.
All that I am asking Senator McConnell is give us about what is the problem.
Still no word when Senator McConnell will authorize a vote. The Senate also continues to debate on a measure to override the president's veto of the National Defense Bill. A vote on that bill is expected tomorrow. A live look at New York City. Check out Times Square. Normally, there's a sea of people getting ready to ring in the new year. Well, not tonight. Officials told everyone to stay home and celebrate virtually. Still, you can see a few people milling around, but not too many.
It's weird. It's not what I would expect.
I'm more used to seeing it, packed with tourists or whatever, and
to see it as like a ghost town is definitely odd.
And tonight, the Buffalo Bills say they will allow 6,200 members of the Bills Mafia to attend next month's playoff game in person. But the plan comes with a catch. All fans will have to be tested several days before. And for tests that come back inconclusive, ticket holders will get a rapid test on game day. Ken?
Get him in there, I guess. All right, thanks, Andrea. Now at 7, a special sick leave expiring in a matter of hours here in California. Why it could mean more people spreading the virus at work.
And we're going to ask people that are going paycheck to paycheck to make a very difficult decision.
It's heartbreaking. It's such a loss for all of us. So, you know.
And then later, a restaurant with one of the best views in the Bay Area shutting down after decades. Plus, things get ugly at the end of a New Year's Eve bowl game. Why one of the coaches says it wasn't a big deal. Here's a look at your top headlines tonight, taking a live look at the Capitol building in Sacramento. At midnight tonight, state COVID sick leave protections are set to expire. What's that mean? All California workers were entitled to 2 weeks paid COVID sick leave. A state program made that mandatory by offering a big tax credit for their employers. But starting tomorrow, that paid leave is optional. The end of that program has created a growing public health concern, especially since a more contagious COVID strain is now spreading in the state.
And we're going to ask people that are going paycheck to paycheck to make a very difficult decision, protecting their coworkers or making sure that their family can get fed.
It's possible for the governor to act through executive order. However, this type of order would also require budget funding.
For employers who continue to offer this paid leave for their employees, the state's tax credit will remain in place until March 31st.
The view out at Ocean Beach looks a little different tonight. The historic Cliff House restaurant in San Francisco's Land's End officially closed today. A crowd gathered below to watch the letters on the Cliff House sign removed one by one earlier. The restaurant's managers say they're closing after negotiations on a lease extension failed. We reached out to the landlord, the National Park Service, but we did not get a response. People we spoke to today were emotional about the closure.
One of my dishwashers, Raphael, came yesterday because he's been waiting 9 months because he didn't believe that it would happen. So he finally had to clear out his locker. Now he's worked for me for 27 years.
I worked until my 8th month of pregnancy. it's heartbreaking. It's such a loss for all of us. So.
Well, coming up next, a dream season ends in defeat. Why San Jose State University's football team was missing some key players today.
San Jose State's attempt to have their first undefeated season in 81 years hits a massive speed bump. 6 players and both coordinators didn't make it to today's Arizona Bowl. Some of the absences were reportedly due to COVID. The Spartans ended up getting crushed by Ball State 34-13 to finish 7-1 on the season.
Make no mistake, we felt like we were ready for this game. Ball State just came out there and they gave it to us.
I don't know the amount of days that this group was together just as a group this year, but it was significant. I mean, not living in our houses with our own families, so anytime any of those pieces aren't there, that definitely has a big impact, and the guys that can't be there are just devastated.
It was an ugly scene after the Armed Forces Bowl between Mississippi State and Tulsa. Seconds after time ran out on the Bulldogs when fists started flying, helmets were ripped off, there was some stomping. Eventually, everyone cooled off, and Mississippi State head coach Mike Leach summed up the situation like this.
What's your message to the team, having seen that afterward?
Don't do it anymore, Well, I mean, this is a football game, so we're not going to be tearing cloth over this deal.
And that is Mike Leach for you, Ken.
Keep your helmet on.
Keep your helmet on and maybe your fist to yourself, maybe next time. Well, thank you for watching. The news continues streaming on CBS and Bay Area.
I will be back here at 11 o'clock. Have a safe and happy New Year. Stay inside.